Hello, hello, and it's Tuesday, and we're doing a listing show. So far this month I've done 104 items for a gross total of 4,815. Half that's about net. At the end of the show, according to my goal, I should be at 6,500. Not going to happen, but hey, we're going to keep going as always. No show tomorrow. Did not have enough stuff prepped, and I feel for the show I want to have enough stuff prepped to not just stall out. So, with that being said, I'm going to get started. So, as always, the first thing I do is I like to just show my store. And yeah, sales have been coming in just bit by bit, nothing too exciting, but still in the right direction. So, let's see. Let's not screw this up already. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is this camcorder. I think I paid $6 for this, I think. It's been tested. It works okay. It was a little funny, but it was accepting tape, so I did record on it. And I actually have a video in my listing of me testing and playing this. So let's just, before I forget. Oh. And here, I've already started the listing for this one. So this is a ZLZ3. And I'm just going to add the rest of the pictures for it. So if there's anyone new, what I do is for an hour I list and I show everything that I've decided to list. I pretty well show everything in the show. I'm not going to promise everything just from circumstances, but I try to. I also do try to say how much I paid if I happen to remember. But that's the way it is. So this one here. So I have a shelf of the day. So the way my storage works is I have bins and the shelf. So the shelf will have anything large on it, and the bins, that's stuff that fits in bins, and this just keeps track of which bin it's currently sitting in. And it's used. And I also have templates just to speed up the listing, because often I will be using very similar descriptions. That's better. Testing works. Good use condition watermarks with use. I don't believe the battery holds the charge, but it works. For a lot of these camcorders, people are, I believe, are just transferring old movies, and that's the only reason they want it. So it's not as critical, I think. So this is type compact, sure. And for the price, we're going to figure that out. So this is let's go right here to the top and cheat. Show that. I don't think this is a super valuable one. I always also prefer just checking solds to do my comps. It's not as sophisticated as this one. So I'm thinking $39.99. Let's go a little higher, $44.99. Also weighs a little bit more. So I have these categories. These are a little off actually, but good enough. And that was 45. So what I do is I also update the banner after a little while, just to show how much I've listed during the show. That's done. That's, whoop. And then I just put in a baggie and the bin it goes. Okay. So there's no show tomorrow. Like I said, there's just not enough stuff. Next, Star Wars toy. The box is a little beat up, but it'll do. And boop. Hey, Tommy. Yes, let's get lazy. You've been doing the opposite of that, so that's good. I actually got skunked today. I found nothing. After 4 hours, I found nothing. Then I came home and started testing a whole bunch of stuff to list it, and then that stuff worked. So today I've spent 6 hours or 5 hours doing lots of stuff and getting nothing out of it. Okay, so this is titanium. And go with this. That's enough. Now, I wouldn't say, well, yeah, I guess it's new. We're going to ask a little bit less simply because there's some damage to the box. Can't pay $5. So even though the other one's worth more, the one I just listed, honestly, probably making more money on this just because the time to test all that system was a lot higher, and also the possibility of a return because of an issue is much higher. Good enough. What I'm trying to do also is record how I'm spending my days, just out of curiosity. See if I'm doing spending my time well. Of course, you can't really predict how you're going to do at the stores, but you might be able to get some hints on if you can see a pattern over time. If you don't record, then you have no idea what the pattern is. There we go, $25. Getting rich very slowly. I swear half the stuff right now I'm picking up is broken. So I really don't want to start testing stuff in the store, but it seems to be a trend and you can't return anything. Nadon. I say good day. I say good day. I know that reference. Camera. Tester works. This is the case is you should always use fresh batteries, strong batteries when you're testing stuff, because when it was using weaker one of them was a little weaker, it didn't actually work properly. And I thought it didn't work, and then I tested the batteries and put a better one in, and lo and behold, it works fine. Okay, Canon Sure Shot Owl. Let's go used. Let's do USA. I don't have that funky case though. Any of these cases. Okay, $49.99 sounds good. Let's get that in before I forget. I know some people carry batteries and all this stuff to test while they're out in the field, but I don't know. I think part of the problem is that because we can't return anything, I think a lot of people are just donating back crap, and I think things are getting recycled over and over, broken crap. to. Let's just make sure it's the same. Because that one's a date. And that actually can be a little different. Yeah, this is not a date one. So it's going to be less. I don't even really know what the date part means. So, nope. Here, it's this one. No, it's not that one either. Uh-oh. How about this one? All these little variants. I don't think it had a model number either. Yeah, that's it. Okay. So they got 49, so I lost 44. Not a big difference. Get rid of the date. Okay, good. 45? Yeah, that's 45. No show tomorrow. Tweeting it so everyone knows. Not enough stuff, especially with not finding anything. Okay. Hope everyone else's day is going better than mine. At least for getting stuff done. Good. Hey, Shay. Shay, I was curious. Don't know if you're still here. But do you ever do these guys, like these little robots? What are they called? Back on or back battle bots or something? I know there's rare ones, but it was cheap. So I got to figure out what the secrets are to these. I'm pretty sure it's one of those things where most have no value, but I see them enough. Okay, so next thing is calculator. This also came in the same bag I had the other day, where basically it's free. The annoying thing with this one is it's in beautiful condition, but it's so pale you can only see it at the size. So I'm not sure what's up with that. Yeah, you sell them as a lot. Like, do you check to see if there's valuable ones in the lot? Because I know there are some rare ones for the little bad bots. Excuse me, if you know. Okay. I find that's the kind of knowledge that really pays off over time, because like, if you can take the time to learn those weird things, there's a lot less competition, because a lot of the other sellers just won't be bothered for good reason. But it takes time. Okay, so this is used. Okay, so this one has, mine's also in excellent condition, but has issues. Okay, I'm just gonna ask $24.99. Normally I would ask much higher at the top end because of the condition of this, but because it does have issues. Oops. This is the only thing I don't like about the new listing tool. Is this. Be careful. There we go. Okay, testing works, but for some reason can barely see screen. Only at an angle. Selling for parts. So selling as is. I did try new batteries too, so I'm not sure what's up. Third parts. Works, but has issues. Oh yeah, pictures, I guess, eh? Today was also the first day I've gone out shopping where masks were optional. So the first two thrift stores, everyone was wearing masks. Pretty well, everyone. And so I wore my mask. Did I add a picture later? I'll have to look at this picture. So first I wore my mask, but then after a while I was like, ah, screw it. Look, why didn't it show it on? Maybe it's this. I have two calculators. Maybe it's the other calculator? No, it's this one. I just took bad pictures. Okay. Oops. Yes. We'll have to do. Just drop that a bit. Yes. Ooh, $20. Whoa. Yeah, you double check them? Yeah, I hope I can figure out a way to quickly scan out the ones that aren't good, because they all look pretty well the same to me, these Valbots. Hey, Nelly. Just avoid my pals list. Good. So that's the working show, so hopefully you can try at least. But yeah, I get that. I haven't been in the mood, so I kind of forced myself a little bit with the show. But hey, it ebbs and flows. If I find stuff, then it makes me a lot more enthusiastic. Hey, Chop Chop, thank you for joining us. Hey, Bolo Up, thank you once again. It's Stacia, I think. Anyways, thank you for coming, Stacia. That's right. Oh, next. What are we doing? We're doing pencils again. Except my wife helps me with these. And merchant pencils. And these are new. Well, they're all unused. How about that? Okay, so let's go ahead. Hey, thank you. Did I pronounce your name right? Let me know. When I'm at the thrift stores, I always try to make sure, if I talk to someone a couple times, to learn the name and use it. It creates a better, people like their name being used. All right. It's not fake. It's really I want to try to remember the names. Pencils, Canada. North America. there's only new. So I'm going to check Peak. And we're going to put new. This would be good. Something 59. Something 59. I know I did list some, so I'm just going to take another one of my listings. Yeah, what is it, 59? Let's just go 64. Let's go a little higher. They are new. This new. Canada. Not Venus. Canada. All right. It's B42. Okay, Laurentian, Canada. Unused. This will be different, I think. 242? No, it's the same. Okay, and pictures. Doesn't feel like Tuesday. It feels like Friday to me already. I don't know why. Okay. Is this them? This is them. All right, good. 65. Okay, so I've done enough to update my chart. So 65, 110, 130, 140, 160, 200. Be interesting to know just how much I list per item for the show. And done. Big head. And banner. Let's just get that quickly done. 5 at 200. Save. Good. Okay. You see great on my name. Oh, good. I'm glad I got it right. Name tags help a lot. You know what I do for people at the stores is I just make it like I don't ask their name the first time. If I've talked to them a couple times, I do, and then I'll like write down their name on my phone. They also add a little comment to remind me who that is, just in case. Obviously, I don't need that for a long time, just a little bit, just to remind myself quickly. Hey, Harry. I keep missing your show. I don't know what's going on. Like, my time has changed or something. I never catch it. But thank you for coming in, Harry. Oh, are you? Well, we're itching for our garage sales to start. I'm around just moving things around. Hey, that's what this show's for. I mean, it's just background noise while you're doing other stuff. That's what I do other people's shows for. It's taking me a hell of a long time to get this room reorganized because my body doesn't like it. Your room doesn't like reorganizing things? She knows me. She's not worried. Okay. Okay, next. I'm feeling I'm missing something I wanted to list, but whatever. Okay. Sony voice recorder. I think this one was in my dev file for a while. It works. It doesn't sound the best. I left myself a little note. Sounds like crap. I think I asked 30 for it. Where that? Okay. So even expanding with the stuff I was trying to look at this week, the pots and pans, and I needed a new TV for testing consoles because some of my cabling doesn't work anymore for my great big TV. Still, didn't find anything. This is good. I'm not going to ask a lot for this. I already put the price down as $29. What these people doing here is smart, where you actually sell it with a tape. You can just give it a bit more appeal. I normally do that, but I need to get organized because I do have spares just for that purpose. I am asking a little less. Let's change my mind a bit. Yeah, testing works, but playback doesn't sound nice and clear to me. Okay. That description might be a little too rough for it. It sounds like it's like you won't be able to understand it, but you can understand it. And the word voice. There she is. Okay, I'm going to change the description a little bit. But play doesn't sound as clear as it should to me. Better. And list. Okay, there we go. I swear something's coming along and stealing all my batteries during the night. Or I'm leaving them in some of the machines, which is not good. They always seem to be out. Testing batteries. And I buy a lot. Okay. Big heads. Wow, micro cassettes from my college days way back when. Yeah, I don't know. Sony isn't the best. I think the best one for voice recorders are is it Panasonic? I think it's Panasonic. Not all voice recorders are good. I don't know what people are using them for. Maybe it's a legal requirement to have something not digital, but yes, they still sell for some reason. But unfortunately, a lot of time they do not work well. So you want to give yourself a bit of a buffer. Okay, another calculator scene from that same bag. There we go. It's a little dark in here today. I switched my setup for my camera a little bit, and for some reason it's darker. Okay, so So this is an HP 20S. Let's go used. Let's go USA. Used. Did I make any notes? So this one's a little funny. Is it shows a battery low symbol even though the battery isn't low. Go for 39. Maybe that's why all this stuff is in the bag. Okay, Justin works. For some reason shows low battery and used sometimes. Okay. I would say it's in great condition, but I don't like saying stuff like that. And I'll never put the batteries in. It's yeah, see there in the second. It's a new battery, but sometimes it shows low batteries. But okay, $40. I like calculators. They're nice and easy, and sometimes they can be worth good money. We're gonna do more pencils. Come on. There we go. More Laurentons. I don't think these are gonna be worth a lot. I picked them up basically because I could. I don't think they're used. This is a broken tip, but so let's go back. I don't know if I'm showing things too quick, but you're gonna see what it is anyways. This is gonna be USA. Oh, I hope I find some good stuff tomorrow. I need to win. Really? That's it? Did I spell it wrong? Did you get rid of the USA? Someone's showing the back. Oops. That is it. I guess the same. I paid maybe a couple bucks for this, maybe $4 at most. Where's the price? Okay, $29.99. Yeah. New. I should say what tip is broken. It's just one. Yeah, just one. Each one tip. Each. But this ain't broken. Yep. And I don't know about the year. Yeah, the year there. Yeah, it's 2004. All right, and list. Yay. No show tomorrow, no show tomorrow. Okay. Let's see. That is quite true. Yep. Not fake news. Good. I listed some paddles for dinghies today. Okay. I still wanted to list them as dirty horrors. My wife said I sound like a pimp. Did he? I got it. I was a little slow there for a second. I got it. Yeah. That's you for local pickup, I hope. I wouldn't want to ship that. Okay, so we're gonna do another one of these. So I did list one of these yesterday, similar ones, these Guitar Hero dongles. Now this one looks like it's being welded back together, but I did test it and it worked. But I'm definitely going to disclose that. Let's go baguette. Okay. Guitar Hero. I need my 95893.80. That's a 6. Big small. I don't know why these are going for so much money. Do you game, Carl? You know, the funny thing is I gamed since like Apple II days way back in the 80s. And I was heavily big video game player until I started taking my ADHD drugs. And one time I noticed, it's like, oh my God, I'm not playing video games anymore. I wonder why that is. Because I was a heavy, like, multiple hours a day kind of person. And I looked at the side effects, and my God, one of the side effects of the med, my ADHD med, was to stop playing video games. So, and the funny thing is, we didn't know that side effect until all of a sudden, like 6 months or 8 months later, I noticed I wasn't playing games anymore. And it was a big part of my life. But just recently, that's come back. And I've been playing Battle Brothers quite a bit. And I'm wondering if, because my mood's improved as I'm doing what I want, and I'm wondering if that has had an effect on my desire to play video games. Because I didn't want to play a ton of video games, but I enjoyed playing video games. And it upset me a bit that I was no longer gaining pleasure from playing video games. So anyways, that was a short question long. Yes, I do. Oh, yes. For the pals on Facebook, sold a closed error and a cat basket today on Facebook. Yeah, I haven't been busy with other stuff. Lead by action. Yes. I found a new bullet to me today, card cleaning kit, especially at this time of year, right? That I did not know. I'll have to look that up later. Stay away from zombie ADD drugs. Might definitely give you a total. Stay away from zomboid and meds. Might definitely give you a totally different experience. Not sure what you mean. For me, I love my ADHD drugs. They make a huge difference to my quality of life. And if I don't take them, I really notice. And I don't get zombie-ish at all. I get annoying if I don't take them. Okay. This is the funny pictures. I also agree with Reed. Okay, used. I'm going to test it. The way I test these is just insert them into my computer. Okay. I'm going to put this at the beginning. It appears that this has been. Well, how do you spell soldered? Solder? Can I say something nice? How about repaired? Yeah. Let's test it. It works. Oops. And I'm just going to say use condition because it's not obviously good. No batteries, so don't need that. I'm also going to say it's been colored. It's colored. We're going to ask quite a bit less. So these prints are 79, so we're going to ask 59. I'll be very happy with that. I'm sure they'll be happy with it because it works. And I paid nothing for it, pretty well, like $1. Okay. And good. And so 60. And 15 minutes left. Going to check something on the screen here because I swear I had a draft prepared for this, but I don't think I do. Oh, no, I do. Okay, good. Hey! Hey, Crave. How's it going? Reading is good for you. It is. I read, but the funny thing is when I'm going to bed now, I actually prefer reading graphic novels like comic books, but like in book form, just because I want something simple before I go to bed. But I do read. I always have been a reader. I like fantasy, science fiction, that sort of stuff usually. But I remember when a kid, they said, "Oh, we don't want people reading comic books because it's trash for your mind." But now they're just so desperate for people to read anything. Ironically, with the internet, I think we read more than we ever have before. Okay, so I showed this the other day, and I was a little worried about IDing it, but I have ID'd it. This is a brick phone, old style cell phones, and I do have a draft. Apparently, cod liver oil is good for ADHD. Yeah, there's a whole bunch of things. Like I've done what's it called? Fish oil, which is the same thing, really. But you know what really works is my meds. I really realized they were not working one day when I forgot to take. Whenever I forget to take them, they don't change who I am. They just allow me to concentrate on one subject just a little bit more, which I really appreciate. And I'm still me. It's just that when I'm not on them, sometimes what will happen is, you have that little filter inside your head. Like, don't say this, it might be misinterpreted. Well, I find with the meds, I have another split second of that filter coming in before I say something. And so it prevents me from saying something I don't realize I'm really saying, which might not be the best thing. That's just a small example of how they help me. I would not go back to being without them. Let me put it that way. Where's my photos? God damn it! Where's my photos? Please be here. I don't want to delay this one again. They're gone. So I must have deleted them. Nice. Oh my god, this thing's never going to get listed. Okay. That'll be next week. That's too bad, because that's a really it is a tank of a phone. It's like the old ones for in the cars. These can be worth thousands of bucks. This one here I think is worth 150 to 200. I think they use them for props, but yes, if you ever see brick phones, pick them up. Now, I rarely see brick phones, and I'm really upset I don't have my photos. So because of that, we're going to do this other dongle. This is a drum one. It's not worth as much by far. It's still worth listing though. I'm upset about those photos. Can I ask what medication is if you don't mind? I have ADHD. Yeah, I use Concerta, which is a slow reacting, slow release medication for ADHD. It's much smoother, I find, than some of the other ones. Like I have tried the quicker acting one. I think is it Adderall or Ritalin? I can't remember what the other one is. But it's much more. Those ones work really well too. But I find the highs and lows are much higher. Like if I take the other ones, I feel a lot more concentrated than Concerta for about an hour. But then I get a little bit of downer as it kind of wears off. So it's much more like spiky. And this is over 8 hours. And I take. There's different levels, and it can take a while to find the right level for you. I can't remember what it's fairly high, but it's. I wish I had this when I was going to school, 35 years ago. Actually, a little longer than that. I'm very curious how different things would have been. I know some people say that they get zombie-ish and all that stuff, but for me, it's really a lifesaver. Yeah. Yep. Okay. Red octane. Where's the code on this one too? The older I get, the more this is becoming an issue. 481.06. Is that a drum one? Yes. I understand, like, for a lot of people, they don't want to put their kids on it. And I can understand, like, the stuff for the dieting, because one side effect when you take it is your appetite is definitely lower. I haven't really lost weight because of it, though. That wasn't my goal, but that did not happen. I'm going to write in drum. No, it's good. I got it here. Drum. They got good enough money. I'm going to ask for 19. Nice thing about these dongles too is they're awesome. You just throw them in the poly mailer and off it goes. But anyways, like I said, I understand why people don't want to have the kids on it, but honestly, I wish I had it as a kid. And I think I'll hear people trying the meds and they'll talk about being like out of it or like a zombie and all that stuff, or the kid's behavior's radically changed. For me, it's never been that dramatic, but I have the inattentive type, which is a little different than the run around type. And I think you have to find the right meds for you, because I have tried other ones on, I can't remember what they're called, that didn't work for me at all. So I think ADHD is a little different for everyone, maybe. We're not all quite the same. Where's the drum one? Where's the drum one? Yes. And you have to find the right one that works for you. I feel sorry for people who are in Europe, where they don't believe it's a real thing, and it's being medically proved with brain scans that it is a real thing. And often, like, one issue I know we have is we have a smaller frontal cortex where your concentration areas are, and that might be part of it. Okay. $20. Good. Okay, $20. Okay, so 50, 110, 150, 175. Big heads. And I can just fix my banner. And we're at 475. 375. The other thing I notice is when I take my meds, I actually make a lot less errors. Just before I was very error prone. And the funny thing is, I can also have a slightly better short-term memory. So, like, one of the tests they do is like how many numbers you can memorize. And actually, when I'm on my meds, I notice the differences. I can remember an extra digit or two before I forget it. I take Adderall, but I'd rather have, I think that was the one I had problems with. I can't remember. But I find Concerta is very smooth. And Adderall, yes, it's not smooth. Like, I get actually kind of a little depressed when it stops working, because then it pulls back all those meds out of the synapse, I think. And that makes you feel a little down. Also, as a coincidence, one of the reasons that, especially the inattentive type, because there's two types of ADD, the inattentive type really loves video games. It's not the video game itself, but if you get really into a video game, you concentrate on that so much, and that feels really good to someone who has a problem with concentration, and that's why it can be so addictive, because we are craving that concentration. We want that mental energy to do something, but often our brain kind of goes by itself. And for some reason, some video games like Civilization are very addicted to us because it gives us those feelings. Concerta, I can't spell anything. It's Concentra. I think it's Concerta. St. Carl, I could have aced school. I used to just sleep. Yeah, Tommy. So, like, I got diagnosed a while ago. One of the big things that happened to me as an inattentive type, and it showed and explained this later, is that when our brain gets bored, it puts us to sleep. And I remember trying to study for tests in high school, especially, and literally falling asleep, even if it wasn't late. It's like I'm trying to concentrate, and boom, I'd fall asleep. And that is definitely one of the symptoms of, like, your brain, like I said, gets so bored, it decides to put you to sleep whether you want it or not. I gave up. I never studied. I didn't study in high school. I didn't study in college. I just winged it. And because I knew whether I studied or not, most of the time it wouldn't get inside my brain and wouldn't come out when I needed an exam, unless it was something that was already an interest to me. And even if it is an interest, facts and stuff like that don't really stick. I get more. I think we have some benefits in different ways, but school is not for me, at least. Good. Just stole your phone when you weren't looking. Listen back for good items. Yeah. I'll take the photos again. It's annoying. I must have thought I had listed it. Silly. I think diet is one of the biggest problems with his behavior. Yeah, I think diet has a big effect on us. I think it's more than just like kids and sugar and that stuff. I think it's a lack of healthy food, and we get so used to the taste of food that's at a higher level that food that's good for us might taste a little bland. I think that's definitely a thing. Like I know in the past, when it was big to have like lower fat in foods, what they do is they put in a lot of sugar, and gee, a lot of people are getting diabetes type 2. I wonder why. Because they replace those good fats with sugars, and the sugar industry is one of the few that don't have to put the maximum daily requirement or daily recommended amount on the packaging. Anyways, we won't go into that. Okay, see if we can get it a bit more done. Let's just get this one out of the way. It's another one of those brass things for horses. I don't know why I picked it up. Probably was bored that day. And there is a name on it. I use my Google Lens to see if that helps. Yeah, that might help a little bit. Just see if I can get a little bit of a guess. So, horse, brass, wreath. This is it. Okay, so I know I'm just going to steal my other listing. I think I'm not a huge fan of saying like ADHD people have too many advantages, because I'd rather have the higher levels of concentration, to be honest. But I think those of us who've survived and not gone to jail or gone down dark alleys, I think we've learned to simplify things much quicker than I find other people who don't have ADHD, there we go, have. And we can get to what's important really quickly. Sometimes, unfortunately, that also means that we kind of can appear rude, because we try to get to the point, because we know our attention span is so short that if we don't get to the point quickly, we're not going to pay attention. And that kind of sees as being a little abrupt. We tend to, we're argumentative, but we also tend to craving getting, don't put too much stuff in front of a meeting, all that BS about like, tell us something secret about yourself, blah, 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 because we stop paying attention. We just want the facts, and we want them quick before they're gone out of our head. And you have us for like 5 or 10 minutes before we're not paying attention anymore. But also what it allows us to do is, I think in business, especially entrepreneurial stuff, it lets us see what's really important quickly, because we've learned to do that over our lifetime just to cope. Anyways, that's just an opinion. Okay, B42. Quartz brass. I'm just going to say the first one. Normal wreath. And the other one is a stag. Stag stage. I'm asking that much. Probably don't have a lot of interest on it. Let's go back up. Okay, good. It's $30. I'm not going to get that. I'm asking way too much. Okay, so that was it. That was it for the show. So I'm just going to do my totals here. Denial also in foods affects behavior. My granddaughter had night terrors from red dye 40 in food. Oh, wow. It can be so hard to know exactly what causes things, but yeah, I know there's definitely some dyes that weren't good. When you practice meditation, do you practice breathing meditation? So there's a couple of ways I do it. So for me, one of the things I'm not always successful. What I try to do is clear the mind of thought. And for me, the breathing, there's two methods I use. One is the breathing, where you're concentrating on the 5 seconds and you're concentrating on the air going out. And part of that is to try and clear the mind. The other one that works better for me is I'm lying down on the bed when I do it, and I concentrate on each part of my body. So I go up my legs, down the other legs, up the torso, down to my hands, down to the back hands. Then I do my head and my face. And then usually by that point, I've kind of hopefully have cleared my mind. And sometimes when I do that, meditation can feel really good. Sometimes I fall asleep. Sometimes I'm not in the mood. But yeah, so I use those two techniques. One is the breathing one, and one is the feeling each part of my body as I go. And I find the one works for me the most is the feeling of my body. Yeah, no small talk. No small talk. My wife gets irate. Again, are you listening? 20 times a day. Yes, you know, Tommy. What I've learned to do, and I still do it, is when I'm talking to someone like anywhere, I'm constantly saying to myself, "Listen, listen. Don't interrupt. Let them talk. Listen, listen, listen." In my head, because if I don't do that, I start thinking of the next thing I want to say, or a random thing. I find when I'm saying like listen, 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 I am listening to them, but I have to do that. I find it helps. It's weird, but you probably actually understand a little bit. eBay is being the first thing I've ever found that I can utilize the ADH superpower on. So not 100%, but it's probably 60%. Yeah, Tommy, I 100% agree with you. I wish I had found it 30 years ago. I wish I knew about ADHD 30 years ago. I wish I knew about the meds 30 years ago. I wish I'm undiagnosed dyslexic. I wish I'd known that about 30 years ago. But yes, I think it's not a coincidence. A lot of us eBay sellers do have ADHD because there's a couple of things that I think work really well for us. One is the tasks are relatively simple and very well defined. Buy thing, figure out the price, take the pictures, ship it out, repeat. And while I was a programmer, and I'm going to have to go back to programming, I can do the complicated stuff. I prefer doing simple things. It gives me more immediate feedback and less frustration and less overwhelm, which is why our environments have to be really clean as well, because I'm sure you know, once it gets messy and we get overwhelmed, we kind of shut down a lot. I think we also have to face the fact that we're going to have days we're not productive, and that can be really hard. But I do think ADHD has some benefits. Also, just in terms of there's a lot of change and a lot of different aspects to this business, which is good for us. It's not the same thing every day, even though in some ways it's the same, but we're always looking for different objects. I think it helps a lot too. I don't officially have ADHD, but I have many, many overlapping symptoms with other conditions I have. Also, women often have different symptoms for it than men do. Yes, my female friends who have it, I would say they didn't have it, but they were diagnosed and they do. So yes, it does seem to be different for women and men. I don't mind. I can do small talk. It's funny. I can definitely do small talk, but when I need to get a business thing done, I like to get to the point right away. I can definitely talk though. I can talk for hours if I'm not careful. I can't concentrate on meditation. Forget that I'm meditating 15 seconds in. Yeah. So for meditation, like I said, it doesn't always work, but for me it did work, and I won't go into it. But there's a whole new agey thing there too. I have been to 3 people to teach me to meditate, books, videos, you name it, nothing has worked. Yeah, so I took courses too. I can't meditate in a group. I can't meditate listening to music. I can't meditate listening to guided meditation. I need to lie in a bed. Hopefully it's not a lot of noises, and that works for me, and it doesn't always work for me. So, I absolutely need well-defined tasks. Otherwise I get overwhelmed and completely shut down. Yep. That was the thing I found very frustrating at work, is when it's like, oh, just go and do this vague thing. And, well, if you want me to do vague thing, I won't do it. The other thing with ADHD is we're really motivated by desire, and money is not desire. I like money in terms of like, points and stuff like that, but we're not motivated by what other people think of us. Like, we're not going to be motivated by impressing someone, because I don't give a bleep about what someone else thinks, which also can get us in trouble socially, because sometimes we can be a little too harsh with that. I don't know about anyone else, but I also have a tendency that I can be mean if I'm not careful. And that can come out. I think for me, the ADHD drugs also help me control that a little bit. I'm not mean, but I know I do have the ability to be mean. My problem working for corporate world is that it drove me nuts. I couldn't change things to make them better, and then we can focus on that every step day instead of that. Sorry, we're going to reread that. My problem working for the corporate world is that it drove me nuts. I couldn't change things to make them better. I then became focused on that every single day instead of the job. Yes, me too. I would make suggestions, and it was also like, what I hate is like, well, we do this because this is the way we do it. It's like, no, but I still hear that, and I hear that a lot in reselling circles too. I'm very tempted to throw everything out of the eBay room and starting over to get breathing room and uncluttered space. So what helps me is bins and a lack of places to pile things. See, I'm kind of piling already a little bit, but I don't have a ton of room, and I purposely try to do that is I don't have places to pile, because the second I start piling, things get messed up or I forget about it. But it is a constant struggle, not just put things in bins and forget about them. So it's difficult, yes. I can do small talk. I just hate. I love small talk. I've always talked to strangers. It's kind of funny. It's okay. I'm more of a listener than a talker. I can do both. Yeah. It's funny, when I was young, I couldn't talk at all. I had no social skills until I was about 20, and then I flipped. It's easier to get 1 million off a different million people to get 1 person. Good night, Carly. Thank you for coming in. Would much rather have a conversation about something that matters. I'll listen to a strange life story sooner than other stuff. Yeah, I like listening to people's life stories, and I actually do care. Like, it's not just, I'm not pretending to care. I actually do care. I am interested in people. I find the way people think is interesting. Is tool. Yep, 100%. Hey, Paul. It's very mean. Hey, when are you going to be on Shay's show again? When I worked at Country Archives for a summer, I had almost no guidance and ended up wasting time on menial stuff because I didn't know what else to do while the boss was out of the building. That drives me nuts. I would rather come home after a day, feel like I did a really good day's work, than have a day doing whatever I felt like it with no guidance. Like, that's not my life purpose. Thank you. Yeah, for the clutter. Yeah. It's hard, but if you really can, just try and get one little area clean. The other thing for me that helps amazingly is my workspace is like obviously this direction. I have very little here because I'm very much out of sight, out of mind, literally. Like, all the clutter back there, it doesn't bug me because I don't see it because I'm working this direction. That helps me a lot. We don't need little scuzz and stuff like that. Our mind is already created enough without adding stuff to it. Okay, perfect. So anyways, thank you everyone for coming in. Like I said, no show tomorrow because I don't have enough stuff ready. And I'll be back next week. Anyways, take care. I hope your thrifting is good. I hope your sales are good. And take care. Okay, bye. Boop, 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 boop.